What's going on, everybody? David here from Lucas Videos and Toys, and today we are going to be taking a look at A Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, that was made by Funko in 2018 as part of their Savage World line. And this figure, and along with 4 other horror icons that they did for this particular line, are based in the style of the He-Man figures. And they also did several other properties in this particular style as part of their Savage World line, and some of them include Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and DC, some of the DC characters, and a few other properties as well in this style of this 5.5 inch and 5 POA style figure. So very happy to start these reviews on these particular ones. I've had them for a while since they first released, so I think it's time to dive into them and take a closer look at them. We're going to do them one by one, and very happy to finally crack these things open and take a closer look at them, because this is pretty much my style of figures that I like to collect. And I grew up on He-Man, and didn't have a whole lot of them as a kid, but I had a few. So these style of figures will always capture my heart and everything. So just recently, I know that Funko has decided to go back to this particular style, and I think they're going to be releasing musicians in this particular style. And the first ones that they showed at the Toy Fair of 2023 is a group called the Misfits. So they will be getting their figures in this particular style as well. So I'm probably going to pick those up, just because, not because I'm a Misfits fan, because I really don't know a whole lot about Misfits. I know who they are, and I've had at least, I think I've bought like maybe one album, but that was only because back in the day when WCW, World Championship Wrestling, was around, the Misfits were part of that program, and they were partners with they did a storyline with Vampiro, and so that's how I got introduced to them as far as who they are. But I think because based off of that, I just figured, let me go ahead and buy an album of theirs, just because they were on WCW and running around with Vampiro, you know. So yeah, the only person that I really know of that group is Jerry Only, because one, he did wrestle a couple times on WCW, so that's how I know him. So just because of that, I'm probably going to go ahead and buy their figures that come in this style as well, just because, one, it's just, the style is cool, you know, and then, you know, just because, you know, just because I know who Jerry Only and his group of Misfits, you know, the music group. So yeah, anyways, enough of that. So yeah, so this is Freddy Krueger, and I do like their take on these particular figures. I don't know if they did well or not as far as sales goes, but I like them, and I like the fact that they took these iconic horror characters and made them in this style in their own unique way. Now, a lot of people probably didn't like them because of the way of how these look, but we'll discuss all that later on as we review more of these figures. But anyways, so this is the style packaging that they use for their Savage World horror figures, and we'll take a closer look at the card back here in a second. But as you can tell, it says Savage World right there, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, 5.5 action figure. And here's the main figure on card with his accessory right there. Then we got the Funko logo right there. Then on the back, it says collect them all. There. And so these are the 5 figures they did for this particular line. You got Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Pinhead, Michael Myers, and Leatherface. And then, of course, down here you got all the copyright information. You know, got the Miramax logo there, Warner Brothers New Line. So they pretty much had to make sure they were able to use these properties through these companies here, these film companies, movie companies. So, and then we got the Funko logo right there and everything like that. So very cool. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a closer look at them. All right, so here's the basic card back for all the figures, so it'll basically say Savage World and then whatever movie that's based off of, and then the figure's character that's name that's going to be different in each packaging. But the main basic card back is going to be this dark card back with this tree or trees looking like this, and it's going to have a hollow opening right there, and it's got the rocks at the bottom and stuff, and then you get the dark background right there. So pretty cool. Nice packaging art for these particular figures. So but yeah, so that's what the main card back looks like. Alright, so here's Freddy Krueger in all his 5.5 He-Man style glory. He has one accessory, which we'll go ahead and take a look at real quick. So this is basically the glove with his claws that he has on it. And as you can tell, it's going to just slide in and fit right on its hand. But as far as detail goes, here's the gold paint job right here, and then here's the rather regular glove right here, and then straps around there. You can see that it's around there, and then here you got the claws right there. So very cool. Kind of thick right there, but it's supposed to be more of a, not really, looks like more like knives, as far as this style goes. They're not small and thin like they show in the movies, but it's more thicker, which is very cool. So do like the detail of this particular accessory. So they do a good job of that. Alright, so for the figure itself, here is Freddy Krueger, and I must say, did a really nice job on it. Feels a little bit a little heavy compared to other 5.5 figures that we've gotten in the past. Usually most of the figures that Super 7 did for their Savage World line, they are pretty heavy, as compared as like the original He-Man figures that Mattel did, or the Origins and stuff. So these are a little bit bigger as far as thickness goes. But as far as overall, you could tell the main body, he's covered in burn. He's a little bit more pinkish here on the back and in the front, and then here on the arms, you could tell that it's a little bit more brown, right there on the burn marks and stuff. So then here on the legs, it's the same thing. You got the burn marks here on the legs. They're a little bit more kind of airbrushed with a little bit of that brown. So more pinkish here on the front and in the back, and then more highlighted with brown here on the arms and on the legs. So as far as shirt goes, it's looks like it's just one big old how do I say it? One big old line. Not line, but I can't think of it right now. But like the rest of his shirt is gone, or sweater, should I say? Not his shirt, but it's more so his sweater. It's more of like a tunic. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Tunic. Here, right there. But and then here, as far as his head goes, the same thing. It's more of that brownish highlight, on his face. And then the detail, as far as his teeth and eyes go, look really good. There's no sloppiness on the paint right there. They did a good job with the teeth. And then this hood is kind of like that scarecrow-esque hood, that's covering his head. So got some good detailing right there. Kind of like a burlap sack right there as part of the hood. But looks really good though. like the detail. I do like the fact that they made it kind of wrinkly right here in the back, and then where it's flopped over here, they got the wrinkling right there, and then they got the stitching all the way across down here. It looks like along the way they kind of messed up a little bit, but that's okay. It's not going to be perfect, but I do like the stitching how they did on that. And then here on the wrists, they got the brown wrists tape right there, or not tape, but wrist guards, whatever you want to call them. So, but I would think that it'd probably be like kind of supposed to be a leather wrist guards all the way around here, around the forearm too as well. So, and then here, as far as his belt goes, the belt looks good. You can tell I'm glad that they was able to paint that. You know, they should have just painted that too, silver as well. And then here along the belt, you can tell they got the little holes right there for the buckle. Those are for the belt buckle that go through all the way down here, and then all the way back. So then here his loincloth, you know, right there. So probably part of his pants, or not really, because you know his pants, he got his pants on right there. So then his pants here are underneath the loincloth. It's torn. You can see the burned fleshy skin. And then here, as far as the boots go, kind of got that scarecrow-esque boots right there. And then here on the back on the design, still got the stitching here in the back as well. Glad they included that. And then here, as far as the fur goes here on top of the boots, they probably could have painted it a little bit different, but you know, is what it is. So then you got the leather straps around the boots here, and then it shows the stitching here in the front as well. So that's good detail right there. So overall, I like this figure. I mean, it's a really good figure. It's just the only thing knock that I have is that it has the burn here on his front and back. You know, it's pink, but then they did the brown airbrushing a little bit on the arms and face and legs. So if anything, they should have just left it the pinkish color. You know, even though that's kind of like more of the first stages of a burn, and then this is kind of like, you know, over time that's how it heals. It does have that brownish color a little bit, not too much, but you know, it does get a little darker, you know, but it is what it is. But I like this better than I do like the brown highlights or in it. But then as far as his accessory goes, you just slide it on his hand like that. So that's how we know Freddy Krueger. So it just fits on like that, so it doesn't fall off or anything. So I do like how it just slides right there and fits. So that's the only thing that I don't like, is the fact that it doesn't come around the whole glove like it's supposed to. But that's how they designed it. So as far as other comparisons go, let's go ahead and bring out a couple of figures to compare with it. All right, so we got Freddy Krueger alongside a vintage He-Man, and then we also have him standing along with the Motu Universe, or Masters of the Universe, WWE Eternia, that's what they would call this line. John Cena in the He-Man style figure as well. So they all look good together. They could all be in the same universe if you wanted them to. You know, same style and everything, except for, you know, John Cena's got a little bit more articulation. But this Freddy Krueger is more faithful to what the 5.5 and 5.5 inch, 5.5 5 POA style figures are. So yeah, I really do like it. I do like the comparison. And like I said, Super 7's 5.5 figures are a little bit more thicker, than the vintage ones. And as you can tell, it's a little bit more squatty and thicker in the legs and arms and stuff like that. But overall, yeah, they fit right in. You know, overall, great figure. I really do love this figure. And just love the style of it, the design, and everything about it. I think they did a really good job with making this particular figure into a He-Man style Savage World figure. You know, and like I said, and I know a lot of people don't like this kind of style of stuff. What they did to their horror icons. But you gotta understand that this is just based on their take on what these characters would look like in a barbaric setting type of world, in this particular style of figure. So overall, I love it, and I'm glad I have it in my collection. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this figure. Do you have this in your collection, or are you looking to add it one day? So let me know. And don't forget, words of wisdom. Buy what you love and not what you like, because if you buy what you like, you always end up getting rid of it. And I will catch y'all later.